Now in this case, look at this. Uh, all other nodes remain silent because under this vicinity there is no movement is there. But only 17 has the movement. 17 has detected that the movement. But not only the movement of a human, it has detected the movement of a vehicle, and also it can identify building. But building is not moving at all. Now that node number 17 through its video surveillance camera, it can detect that there is the movement of a vehicle as well as there is a movement of a human. Now the problem will get little bit complex, that whenever it has detected multiple number of movement, then it has to identify that whether this multiple number of movements are the movement of the same object or the movement of the different object, because vehicle and human are not the same object, right? Now if it is a different object, that case it has to identify that whether what are the different objects, whether it is a vehicle or a human. So inserting one or two objects within your case study makes the entire wireless sensor network a little bit complex. Earlier it was a single object, so I don't have any problem to detect in this one. But it now become a combination of multiple objects, and now it becomes much more complex than the other earlier. Now I am telling you about another case study. So look at, in this case, multiple source and single object detection. Now in this multiple source and single object detection, you can see that suppose this one is my sink, right? So here also I have made a mistake. So this one will be sink, and all this should be source. All this should be source. Okay, now what happens that my sink 14 has given you one instruction that look at this, is there any, if you find any object detection. Now 16, 15, 18 will not find any objects, and they will notify that within my vicinity I have not detected any object, movement of any object. Now only one vehicle is there. Now this one vehicle is moving in between these numbers of nodes. Now look at this. Node number 6, it can detect that there is a movement of a vehicle. Okay. Even the node number 3 also can detect that there is a movement of a vehicle. Node number 4 also can detect that there is a movement of a vehicle. Node number 1 also can detect, because all are within the same vicinity of movement of this vehicle. So node number 13, node number 5, node number 7, node number 6, they can detect and tell you that, okay, I can detect that the movement of a vehicle is there. Now for the security purpose, if this information goes to your radio station or in the control section, then what they will identify? They will identify that there is a movement of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is a movement of 7 vehicles. So the control section will receive from the 7 nodes that, okay, there is a movement of a vehicle, and the control section will come to know that there is a movement of a 7 vehicle. Is it true? Students, what do you say?
No.
So actually it's a movement of one vehicle only, but everybody is detecting the same vehicle and they are giving their information. Now I need to, whenever I detect an object, immediately I need to find out that whether this object is a unique object or same objects or not. Otherwise, it will interpret as a something different. That instead of a movement of a single vehicle, it will detect that the movement of a multiple number of vehicle is there. So that is also another concern we need to take care of whenever we are in the wireless sensor network. Even in the IoT objects also, if we send or deploy multiple numbers of sensors and they are giving you data, sometimes they may give the data of the different objects, or sometimes they may give the data of the different same objects. if that objects are in the same vicinity of those wireless sensor nodes. Now, this is a typical case of multiple source single object detection. Earlier, we have seen that single source multiple object detection. Before that, we have seen that single source and single object detection. Now, let us see multiple source and multiple object detection. That is much more complex. Within the vicinity of node number 8, node number 6, node number 3, node number 4, node number 11, node number 5, node number 13, and node number 17, there is a detection of a vehicle, there is a detection of a human, there is a detection of a building. Now, everybody has detected this object. Everybody may detect all the objects. Some of the nodes may detect few of the objects. Now, I need to identify that whether all the objects are same or different. Otherwise, what will happen? That I have 7 nodes have detected the human and vehicle, and they will inform that there are 7 vehicles are moving and there are 7 humans are also moving. So it's a totally erroneous information. So that case, I need my sensor nodes and there and even in that case, I have to put some artificial intelligence technique to identify the objects more precisely, so that there should not be any chances of error. Is this clear to you, student? Or shall I need to explain it again? These 4 cases. Hello?
Sir, explain this multiple source, multiple detection again.
Okay. So in case of multiple source and multiple detection, what happens that I have the multiple source who are detecting the objects. Node number 8, node number 6, node number 3, node number 4, node number 11, node number 5, node number 13, node number 7. Earlier, what happens that they are detecting the same object, that is human. Now, they don't know whether at the time of sending the information, they are not tagging that information that whether those objects are the same objects. Now, whenever I will send the information to the control room will be under the impression that there are the detection movement of a 7 objects, 7 humans are there. So that is a completely erroneous information. Now, in this case, the error will be much more, where instead of detecting a single object, all the 7 nodes are detecting multiple objects. Because within the vicinity there is a presence of a vehicle, there is a presence of one human, and there is a presence of a building. Building will not be considered, only human and vehicle they will identify, and they will send the information to the control room. Now the control room will be under impression that there is 7 vehicle and 7 human. In some cases, it may happen that suppose node number 11, this node number 11 may identify the human, it may not identify the vehicle. So if node number 11 is giving the information that I have identified only a human, so that is also another erroneous information. So that case, I need to check whatever information they are giving. At the same time, they need to send the screenshot of their movement, so that it can be through visual analysis, it can be recognized as whether identified objects are unique or identified objects are the same. So for that, I need to, actually this case study will become much more complex. So it is not like that wireless sensor network or IoT. So it is only merely involved in sending you the information of the whatever has been detected, whatever has been sent. So it is much more beyond that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So there is, bolo, Himjyoti.
No, sir. Hold.
Okay. Now there is another case of single source multiple object detection. Means that all the buildings, humans, and vehicle, they are not earlier. What happened that they were moving in the same direction, and they are actually localized. सब कोई एक साथ ही था. Right now they are in a distributed manner. Means vehicle is in one direction, human is in another direction, building is another direction. So that as multiple numbers of cells and nodes are distributed in a different physical geographic locations, so some of the nodes will detect vehicle, some of the nodes will detect building, some of the nodes will detect human. Now, even the control room needs the information that, okay, this node has detected the vehicle, what is its exact location? This node has detected the building, what is its exact location? And this node has detected the human, what is its exact location? Is it clear to you, student? So,
Yes, sir.
so look at this, all the case studies that single source, single object, what are the challenges may come? Single source, multiple objects, what are the challenges may come? Multiple source, single object detection, what are the challenges may come? Multiple source, multiple object detection, what are the challenges may come? As well as single source, multiple object detection, what are the challenges may come? Okay, so this is some of the challenges. Now the other challenges. By this time, if you have any question, you can ask me regarding the wireless sensor node and its challenges. If you have any question, you can ask me. Day after tomorrow, you have the exam.
सर वो स्लाइड्स फिर से दिखा सकते हैं सर?
Answer:
सर पहले वाला
single source, single object.
सर फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग सर वो सिंगल सोर्स
हाँ.
Sir, multiple source, multiple object detection, वो वाला थोड़ा.
Multiple source, multiple object.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. No, this one is single object. This one is multiple object. Just a minute. Yeah. So here, look at this. The basic concept is that from my sink, this is my sink. From my sink, I will send an instruction to all the nodes that are distributed. That if you find any movement of any object, then immediately inform me. So all the nodes first check that within its vicinity whether any movement is there or not. If it is not there, then it will send information to its neighboring node to check that within its vicinity is there any movement of object or not. Okay. Now in this concept, whenever it will go in a relay process, that this node will say that there is no movement of object, this node will say that there is no movement of object, this node will also say. In this way, this will also rejected that there is no movement of object. But 8 will say that, okay, I can see one vehicle. 7 will say that, okay, I can see a vehicle and a human. 6 will say that, okay, I can see a vehicle. 3 will say that I can see a vehicle, a human, and a building. 4 will say that I can see a building, I can see a human. 11 will say that, okay, I can see a human, building, and a vehicle. So in this way, so they will give different types of information. First of all, that there is only one human, but as the different nodes are telling that I can see that human, so the control room will come under an impression that, okay, there may be multiple number of human and they may be extra cautious that there are this many number of infiltrators. Or for the, this is the same case for the vehicle also. So for that, what we have to do that when multiple source is giving the information that they have seen multiple objects, they need to identify that all the multiple objects are separate. Means all are not humans or all are not vehicles. So one is human and one is vehicle, first thing. And second thing is that all the nodes are seeing or detecting the same vehicle and same human. For that, I need only merely getting the data is not everything. I need to identify through visual recognition or visual analysis that all the objects are, all the humans are same, all the vehicles are same, and humans and vehicles are different. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
So that is why I need to send the data to the cloud so that that data will be sent to AWS SageMaker, which is a simple visual recognition tool which will check all the sales data and also come to a conclusion that okay, so whatever data you have sent, so these data are same or different. So that identification is required. Vikramaditya, it is clear? विक्रमादित्य
Yes, sir. Sir, little bit, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
सर वो मल्टीपल सोर्स में सर ये मतलब थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स होगा ना सिंगल सोर्स से.
हाँ बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स होगा, सिंगल सोर्स तो बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स होगा.
तो इसके लिए तो मेमोरी भी ज्यादा चाहिए, स्टोरेज.
नहीं, वही तो बात है. They are not, all those nodes are not going to do anything. What they are doing, they are sending the data to the sink. Sink will send the data to the cloud. अब क्लाउड में जब डेटा आएगा, क्लाउड तो अपने तरह से उसका एनालिसिस करेगा. उसके लिए तो जितना मेमोरी चाहिए क्लाउड विल टेक इट. तुम लोगों को मैंने दिखाया था ना हाउ टू इंटीग्रेट विद AWS क्लाउड. This will come in the exam. What are the different procedures to integrate IoT in cloud? भूल गया? आप लोग कुछ बोल क्यों नहीं रहे हो? मैं दिखा था ना ये. ये आप लोगों को याद है? मैंने दिखाया था. I'll share this PPT. So look at this. Look at this. Whenever the data is coming from the sensor, it will go to AWS IoT rules and action. After that, all those data will be either sent to AWS Lambda or AWS DynamoDB or AWS SNS. And not only that, there are other applications are also there. AWS SageMaker or CloudFront. Can you remember?
Yes, sir.
Huh? So the cloud will do everything. So you don't have to bother about that memory kitna chahiye, because your sensor node is not going to do all those things. Though nowadays there are several sensor nodes have evolved which are equipped with the memory as well as the processing capability. Okay, fine. So let us look at the other challenges also. Can you see my screen of challenges? I don't think so. Yeah, it's not coming. Okay, now what about the challenges? First challenges is the scalability. Means that providing acceptable levels of services in the presence of large number of nodes. So there are several nodes are there, it should be nodes. So out of the several numbers of nodes are there, I have to provide the actual services. Like in this case, what we have seen that there are large number of nodes are there and every nodes are giving the information. And if I compile all this information, I am going to get the wrong data. But if the node itself makes some processing by themselves in case of edge computing or fog computing, जैसे मैंने बोला था बहुत सारा सर्वेलेंस कैमरा है जिसका अपना प्रोसेसिंग कैपेबिलिटी है, उसमें अंदर में तुम्हारा प्रोसेसिंग होके ऑब्जेक्ट आइडेंटिफिकेशन होके तुमको डेटा दे देता है क्लाउड में. So that case your job will be much more easier. Even right now if you can consider your mobile also a sensor, तुम्हारा मोबाइल भी सेंसर है ना. whenever you are taking a photo of your friend, immediately it is saying, and nowadays the Apple phones are saying that who is that person is, उसका नाम बोल देता है. Not even that, the age of the, what is the age of the person, करता है कि नहीं? Yes or no? Nowadays, the mobile camera is also capable of doing this kind of processing of object identification. They are doing it or not? Students?
Yes, sir.
Huh? So nowadays, so many surveillance cameras are present who are also giving you information like this. Okay, so this is one of the challenges, that providing acceptable levels of services in the presence of large number of nodes. Second is that your throughput will getting decreased if the number of nodes are increased. Can you tell me what is throughput? Earlier I have discussed about throughput. Throughput is one of the parameters for quality of service. Himjyoti, can you tell me what is throughput? Or Kaushik? Parth? Udit? Anybody? Kalyani?
Yes, sir. So throughput is the the data transfer in a given time. Hello.
Rate of
Already I
transfer.
told that throughput equal to packet sent by packet received. Nothing else. Packet sent by packet received. That's it. Means that if I send, if the sender sends 100 packet and if you receive 80 packets, then what does it mean? Your throughput is 80 by 100. That is 80%. 80%. 80% is your throughput. Your throughput can never be more than 100%. It is not like that if you send 100 packets, every time you will receive all the 100 packets. Sometimes if the network is good, you may receive 35 packets. Sometimes if the network is not good, then you can receive 50 packets only. Okay, so whenever the bandwidth constant is there, so that case, whatever packets you are sending, it should be received in its fullest, means the throughput should be nearer to 100%. So that otherwise what will happen? आप लोग जब पैकेट रिसीव करते हो, जब डाउनलोड करते हो, सब सारा पैकेट से आता है, नहीं तो हाउ कैन यू open your downloaded file, because it is received by fullest, right? Now it does not mean that you have 100% throughput, that is why you have received the entire packet. It means that they have sent 100 packets, your throughput may be 50%, so you have received 50 packets, but rest of the packets are get lost, and the sender have resent all those 50 packets again. So whenever your download is complete, it means that the download has become completed after sending your packets multiple number of times. Have you got my point?
Yes, sir.
So, but the thing is that whenever your number of nodes increases, if the number of nodes increases within your network, then what will happen? Everybody will try to send the data to the sink. This is your sink, your mobile tower. So everybody will try to send their data in the sink. Then that case, what will happen? So your mobile tower will get jammed. A bottleneck will happen, and it may not receive all the packets in time, and your throughput may get decreased. That can be one of the problem. Another problem can happen, and this is the example of single hop transmission I have told. That means all the nodes are sending their data directly. But generally what we do the multi-hop transmission, right? So multi-hop transmission में क्या होता है? So you have multiple number of nodes, and this is the sink, and this node will send your data to here, this node will send this data to here, and after that it will be received by the sink. Okay, in this way you are sending the data now. So in this way also, if you have the channel, that channel also get blocked by due to the number of nodes increase. Now if the number of nodes increase more than that, if the number of nodes increase more than that, and your bandwidth is same, so that case what will happen, your bandwidth will be pressurized, your bandwidth will be much more trafficked than the previous whatever your bandwidth was earlier. So due to this, what will happen that if the number of node increases, obviously your throughput will get decreased. Earlier, if your throughput was 50%, now it will get reduced to 30% or less than that. Now, it is written that typically the throughput decreases at the rate of 1 by root over n, where n is the number of nodes. Means that if your throughput is right now 100% with the 2 nodes, now if your number of nodes becomes 4, that case your throughput will decrease equal to 1 by root over 4, that means half. Means your throughput will be reduced to half. Means earlier it was 100% with 2 nodes, now it becomes 50% with 4 nodes. Now if your nodes, number of nodes becomes 8, then your throughput will become 1 by root 8. That means root 8 का कितना वैल्यू होगा एक बार देख लेना. So your throughput will reduce at that rate only. Got it? Is this clear, student? Or shall I repeat it?
Sir, can you repeat again?
Means that if you have whatever, if you have n number of nodes, right now if you have p number of nodes, right now it has been increased to n. That case your throughput will be decreased by 1 by root n. For an example, if I tell you that for 2 nodes are there, 2 sensor nodes are there, and you are getting the throughputs of 100%. 100% means what? If 100 packets are sent, 100 packets will be received. Now your number of nodes increases from 2 to 4. That case your throughput will be decreases by 1 by root over of n. What is the value of n now? What is the value of n?
1 by root.
Value of n is 4 now. Now your throughput will become 1 by root over of n. That means 1 by root over of 4. That means it will be half. So earlier it was 100% throughput. Now it will become half. That means 50%. Is clear?
Yes, sir.
So throughput is one of the quality of service parameters for your network. What is quality of service? Quality of service measure that how good your network is. So throughput is one of the parameters. Other parameters are delay, jitter, packet loss probability. What is delay? That means how much time it takes to transmit the packet from sender to receiver. That is called delay. What is jitter? मैंने बोला था आप लोगों को jitter के बारे में. Can anybody tell me what is jitter?
सर जिटर में सर वो डाटा ट्रांसफर में जो नेटवर्क कंजेशन होता है उसमें ये होता है ना सर, मिली सेकंड कितना लेट हुआ है.
एकदम पढ़ाई नहीं करते हो हिमज्योति, क्या बोलो, मुझे बहुत दुख होता है. What about the others? इतना सारा bright talented students बैठा है. रितम, what is jitter? प्रणव, ये सुनो, इन लोगों का
Sir,
आवाज.
I
हाँ
think,
बोलो क्या.
hello, sir.
हाँ.
I think jitter is like the difference in time of the packets arriving or something.
No. variable delay is called jitter. Variable delay is called a jitter. I am giving you an example. I have given that example earlier also. Whenever you are downloading, suppose you are downloading 500 MB file. आप लोग मूवी डाउनलोड करते हो ना, बहुत सारा मूवी डाउनलोड करते हो आप लोग. So whenever you are downloading a movie, so what times it shows generally? It remains this much of time, amount of time. And what time it shows?
Sir, variable time, not fixed time.
कुछ भी बोलो ना. Yes or no? You tell me. Whenever you downloading any file, what time it shows? 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, कुछ भी बताओ. Any figure.
Normally 2 minutes.
Any figure. बोलो.
Sir, it depends on the size of the file.
हाँ वही बोलो ना, कोई भी एक साइज बोल दो और उसका टाइम बता दो.
So 1 GB around, sir, 1 minute.
1 GB अराउंड 1 मिनट. अरे बाप रे, तुम कहाँ पे रहते हो? वो नेटवर्क मुझे चाहिए, इतना फास्ट नेटवर्क, और तुम बोलते हो नेटवर्क कनेक्टिविटी नहीं है. Anyway, jokes apart. Now tell me, is this 1 minute remain fixed?
No, sir.
That within
Yes, sir.
1 minute it gets downloaded.
No, sir.
Huh? Sometimes it becomes 2 minutes, or sometimes it becomes 30 seconds, or sometimes it becomes 1 hour also. Have you noticed that? If your network is not good? Yes
Yes,
or
sir.
no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now that is called variable jitter. Now, if it says that your file will be downloaded in 1 minute, and if it downloads exactly 1 minute, means that it has calculated the delay based on current delay. Right now, how much time it takes to receive a packet from sender to receiver, based on this, it has calculated that 1 minute will be required for 1 GB download. Now, if the network gets slower, immediately it may changes from 1 minute to 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 hour or even 30 seconds also. Now it is calculating variably because the delay is also varying. Now, which network will be good? Maybe the bandwidth is slow, very slow. For you, it is 1 GB 1 minute, but for me, it may be 1 GB takes 15 minutes. But if my data is downloaded exactly within 15 minutes, I have constant jitter. But if your data is not downloaded within 1 minute, you don't have constant jitter. That case, my network is good rather than you. Do you get my point? Himjyoti, do you get my
Yes,
point?
sir.
Yes or no? Is this clear, jitter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so jitter is basically a variable delay. If you have constant jitter, that case your network is very good. Your quality of service of the network is very good. Okay, next is the packet loss probability. So how much packet are being lost, probability of how much of packets are being lost. So that is also one of the constraints. So we have a challenge that to offer very good quality of services in the network, in the wireless sensor network, with respect to delay, with respect to jitter, with respect to packet loss probability. Okay, another challenge is the bandwidth is very limited, and with that limited bandwidth, we have to give the service. Okay, now another challenge is energy efficiency. Means that nodes have the limited battery power, and nodes need to cooperate with other nodes for relaying their information. Suppose here in that case, entire network, can you see that single source multiple object detection? So whatever I have shown to you right now, just a minute. So in that case, entire network depends on the relay of information from the other nodes. Yes or no? If the relay is not does not happen, is it possible to run this wireless sensor network? Relay means what? I am asking, I am requesting my neighboring node whether you have detected any object. My neighboring node will request its neighboring node to check that whether it can detect any object detection. So this is called relay of information. Now, if my neighboring node does not cooperate with me, that case, can I get the information of the movement of any human or any vehicle? Do you get my point? If my neighboring node does not cooperate with me, will it be possible for me to check the movement of any vehicle? Tell me. Do you get my question? Or shall I repeat it again?
Sir, repeat the question, sir.
Huh? You got the
Question
question,
को
na?
yeah, question को फिर से repeat कीजिए, sir.
The thing is that I am dependent on my neighboring node. If the neighboring node is helping me of getting the information, so okay, I will get all the information. But if my neighboring node is not giving me the actual information, if my neighboring node is not cooperating me, so is it possible for me to find out the movement detection of any object? Means if these nodes are not cooperating, बोल रहे कि भैया मैं तुमको इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं दूंगा, कर पाओगे?
No, sir.
So these are called non-cooperation of a node. Now why the node will go to a non-cooperating mode? It will tell that if it finds out that my battery power is very low, that case it is not going to cooperate you. It is not going to send you any information. So this is also a challenge that I have to depend on the relaying of the information. That case, my node must cooperate to me. Do you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is the security. As it is working in the open network, as I told that they are using the ISM band, which is the free to use. So anybody can hack and penetrate this network and get the information from this network. So we have to be much more cautious about the security. What type of attack can happen? Malicious attack can happen, infiltration can happen, eavesdropping or interference. Malicious attack means it will tell you that okay, I am your neighboring node, but it is not a neighboring node, it's a hacker. Infiltration. So it is not wanted node, it is an unwanted node. So it will infiltrate in your network and it will change the setup of your network. Eavesdropping. It will not enter within your network, but it will overhear whatever you are saying. Or interference. It is not going to enter your network, it is not going to eavesdropping your network, but it will send another signal and that signal will interfere with your signal and your signal will get destroyed. आप लोगों को यहाँ पे भी होता है ना, इंटरफेरेंस के वजह से बहुत आवाज होता है. आप लोग एक चीज कभी नोटिस किया, मैं एक्चुअली दो डिवाइस से कनेक्ट करके तुम लोगों को पढ़ाता हूँ. एक डिवाइस में आईपैड एंड अनदर डिवाइस इज लैपटॉप. बोथ विल रिमेन ओपन. नाउ व्हेनेवर आई ओपन माय लैपटॉप, इमीडिएटली इंटरफेरेंस नॉइज आता है ना आप लोगों को. आप लोगों ने वो नोटिस किया कि नहीं? इमीडिएटली क्लास शुरू होने के टाइम पे whenever you will find out presence of two users on behalf of me. One is Shadul Shah, another is SCS1. Now Shadul Shah is from my iPad. Whenever I open my iPad, immediately one interference noise is coming. एक आवाज आता है ना, आप लोगों को दिखाई देता है, सुनाई देता है आप लोगों को. जब मैं बोलता हूँ इको भी होता है वो.
हाँ सर.
हाँ, वो क्यों होता है? Because the same signal, it is sending whatever signal I am sending through my laptop, the same signal I am sending through my iPad also. So it is interfering with each other. So I should restrict at least one signal so that you can hear it properly. Otherwise, whenever the interference is coming, one signal is destroying the other signal, so you cannot hear anything. Same thing also can happen in your wireless sensor network also. Actually, this is called jamming signal. and this kind of signals are basically used in the jail, so that the prisoners cannot talk through mobile. वो लोग नेटवर्क को जैम कर देता है. They are sending the same signal so that there should be one interference. आप जब बात करने जाओगे नेटवर्क बहुत खराब आता है, so you cannot hear anything. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So is there any question? Is there any question, student?